So whether we seek to be regulated in our nervous system, whether we seek to be functionally organized and have our movements be smooth, or whether we want to be organized in our structure or our posture, we can use the movement processes from Ruthy Alon's work called Bones for Life or Movement Intelligence to support these goals. And this is a process called axis response, feet on the wall. This process from Ruthy Alon's work is called axis, foot on the wall. Often we do this on the floor, but I'm demonstrating on the table today. So you can begin by placing your right foot on the wall and your left foot on the floor, and just notice what that's like. You can take a minute to see if you switch. Do you feel more supported in your passive body by one foot being on the wall versus the other? And it's clear to me that my body, even in this horizontal position, is more supported by having my right foot on the wall. Take a breath in, and as you exhale with just 20% of your effort, just press and release the right foot into the wall. With your left hand, you can place your left hand right behind that back rounded part of your head and press and release. And notice how your left hand cupping the most rounded part at the base of your head changes the way that your body shifts on the table. You might even be able to see that for me. You just do little bits of these processes and take a break. And then if it works for you, you can have your right arm up and resting on the floor. Lots of times people need a pillow to support this position, but it's just easy. And I'm going to take a breath in, and as I exhale, push my right foot into the floor and begin to notice what happens with my right arm. I can keep that left hand behind that rounded base of my head if I like to. And it just supports that feeling of my body translating on the floor. And notice as you do that, if your right arm tends to shift a little on the floor, just passively. Take breaks whenever you need to. And then take a breath in when you feel like it. You're going to press with the right foot. And as you press with the right foot, you're going to intentionally let your arm begin to slide up the floor and turn away from your face. So you see my palm turning away from my face. I'm not straining. I'm not lifting my arm off the floor. I'm just accentuating that movement a little bit by allowing my arm to slide and turn away. And as I release that pressure on the wall, notice that my arm drags back down and the palm turns towards my face. Press with the foot, let the arm extend and turn, rotate open so the palm's facing out. And as you release, allow the arm to drag back and the palm turns towards the face. There is a tendency always to overdo. So if this is an unfamiliar process with you, you don't know it, it can be so small, super small. We're trying to tune in to those subtle, habitual movement patterns and limits and discover new ones. And this is a beginning piece for axis, foot on the wall. So another variation of axis, foot on the wall is from the same position. I have my right foot on the wall and my right arm up and resting with or without support as I need to. And I'm going to bring my left arm up the midline of my body to my mouth, to my forehead, and I'm going to slide my fingers back through my hair, and they go back through your hair. At a certain point, you're going to close the fingers close to your scalp. It's like you have a hold of your hair in your hands. Notice that my elbow is pointing in the direction of the wall. So not out to the side, but in the direction of the wall. And I'm going to take a breath in. And as I exhale and press my foot and my right arm slides up and turns away, this elbow is going to move towards my feet. So I'm just pulling with this hand, and I'm going to feel the back of my neck begin to flatten into the table. Here it is without me talking. So I'm just combining some elements from different processes in Ruthy's work that are about axis in this position on the back on the floor. Although I started out with a traditional one, I'm going to add to that. And one is that if you're trying this process, notice where you've placed your foot on the wall in relation to this imaginary line that divides you into right and left halves. And you can even experiment with trying the movements we just did by having your foot in different places along the wall. And you probably begin to find that the closer and closer you place that foot towards the midline, it has a different quality of feeling. It feels more direct and more clear, but it's no use for you to take my word for it. Experiment with that and try. And then when you've noodled around with that a little bit, notice if you can find a way to place the heel or the foot, the sole of your foot, your left foot, on your right knee. Now, if you try this and it doesn't work, you can try the other option of having the other foot on that knee. Sometimes one will work and the other won't. So just see what works for you. And this is another variation of axis. So if I have my right foot on the wall, my left foot on top of my right knee and thigh, I'm going to reach across with my right hand and hold the outside of my left knee. And as I do that and press into the wall, my hand is kind of stabilizing. There's a way in which my knee feels like it might want to move out, and I'm holding it. And then with my left hand, I'm going to come up and comb back through my hair and do that pulling. So what you do is you're going to take a breath in, and when you press the right foot into the wall, at the very same time, you press the left foot into the right knee and thigh. So this happens together. You take a breath in. As you exhale, push both at the same time, and this hand is holding at the same time. And your left hand, if you wish, can comb your hair. And rest whenever you need to.